Welcome to Mysteries, Myths, and Legends. I'm Taylor.
I'm Savannah.
And welcome to the show. Happy Wednesday, everybody. And happy St. Patty's Day.
Oh, you beat me to it. I was about to say that.
Sorry. Sorry,
Yes.
not sorry.
Happy St. Patrick's Day to all of the people who are Irish or love drinking beer.
Because that. Which
you know.
neither one of them are me. But
Well, both of them are me, so.
really? Okay, interesting.
Yeah, a little bit of Irish.
Well, actually, I don't know. I guess there is a possibility I could be Irish. I know nothing about my history.
Yeah, well, you know you're West Virginian.
That's true.
That's
That's as far back as I know.
Yeah, I know like a little bit, but I mean, I feel like everybody who lives in the Philly area is like a little bit Irish and a little bit Italian, so
True.
you know.
True.
Yep.
So actually, fun fact about our lives, me and Savannah hung out last weekend and we had planned to like do something fun for the podcast, like maybe do a little vlog, and then we were like, nah, let's not do that. Let's go bowling instead.
Yeah. Yep.
So, we go bowling and well, we don't go bowling. We go to the bowling place, and they said it was going to be an hour and a half wait. First of all, have you ever heard of that in your life?
Literally no.
So we were like, okay.
It's ridiculous.
Absolutely not. So then we were like, okay, let's go axe throwing. Were there any appointments? No.
Mm-mm.
It was a struggle. We should have probably just went and did something haunted. But we still had fun.
Yeah.
So.
See, but by the time we decided to do that, all those things, it was too late to do any of the haunted things too.
Yeah.
Unless we just went to one that wasn't like a tour.
Mm-hmm. It was a big mess. But all in all, we had fun. But we didn't do any haunted things, so sorry.
Yeah, we did play some cornhole, and I was awful at it.
Yeah. Savannah was my partner, and it wasn't, we did not do very good.
Yeah, I was.
I'm not good either, though.
I'm horrible.
Yeah.
No, you're so good. You're like a pro compared to me.
Okay, maybe. Okay, also, just because I feel like I have to mention this, if you are not on TikTok, there is like a big question going around right now in the whole world that we live in, Earth, if you will. Are there more doors or wheels? And me and Savannah have had this argument for days.
Yeah,
and I would just like to say that I am on Team Wheels.
See, I think I am now too, but also like I just wanted to fight with you at first, so I was Team Doors.
Oh,
so
that's funny. That's funny. Well, comment below on anything that we post to let me know if you're wheels or doors, because I just want to see.
Mm-hmm.
I really do.
Yeah. Whoa, we said that at the same time.
I know.
But I have some little paranormal update for you.
Okay.
So my brother Ryan was home for the past 2 days, and like for spring break, and then he's actually flew out to Memphis for like this conference thing. Yeah, sounds like fun. But anyways, he was home, so we were talking, and I asked him if he had anything paranormal going on in, like, his apartment.
Mm-hmm.
And he said yes.
Oh.
So he lives in, like, an apartment that's, like, it's sort of like a house that's broken into, like, 4 apartments, I think.
Okay.
If you know it, you can sort of picture that.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked him about the paranormal stuff, and he says that in his kitchen there's like a ceiling fan, and he'll walk by it, and the pull string will move by itself and like flip up.
Ew,
like,
that is disgusting.
Not just like move a little bit, but like flip up by itself.
No, that's scary.
See, like, it's just like a little thing, but that is kind of scary.
Wait, would he let us go and investigate?
Maybe. He's only there for like a little bit longer because, you know, it's almost the end of the year, and it's his last year.
Okay, let's go investigate. Wait, he's a senior?
Yes.
Oh, phew! That makes me feel so old. Okay.
I know.
Moving on.
Anyways, Anyways, he said also though in one of the other apartments in the house,
Mm-hmm.
they have like a frame hanging on the wall, and at night it'll jiggle and like
Ew.
sound like the glass is breaking.
No, stop. That's horrifying. I really don't like that. Because that's like,
Yeah,
it's not mean, but it's also like not nice. You feel me? It's like
right,
weird behavior.
right. And I would like probably go up to it and be like, "Is it actually cracking? Like that's just like a
Right.
weird noise to make."
And like, what if it did
Mm-hmm.
crack if you like went up to it?
No, seriously, I don't
That's
know what I would do. Just like throw away the picture. I wonder what's in the picture. He didn't tell
right. That's
me.
what I want to know. Like, is it of somebody that like lives in the apartment? Is it somebody who died? We
Oh,
need the
maybe.
info.
Yeah, because this house slash apartment is like, it looks kind of old. So, I mean, I'm sure
Oh,
there's been so many people in there.
ew.
So, yeah. And also, this is not in Ryan's apartment, but Adriana was in the room with us when we were talking about it. And so she added that she has seen a ghost in our dining room before.
What?
She said she didn't really have any other details to that.
Okay.
She was just like, oh, yeah, there was like a figure, like a shadow or something in there.
Okay. That's interesting. So,
Yeah.
okay.
So she thinks that she saw a ghost in
Okay,
there.
I want more information on that.
Mm-hmm.
From Adriana herself.
Yeah.
But if it was a ghost in your house is fairly new, so I would say it
Mm-hmm.
would be the land, like the
See,
ghost of something on
yeah.
the land that was there.
I was just about to say, like, she told my mom, and my mom said that it's impossible for us to have ghosts.
Why? Because it's a new house.
Yeah,
I
basically.
mean, that's also what I would have told a child as well.
Yeah, see
So
that's it
if you're
too.
listening, Adriana, just
I think
pretend you didn't hear the
I
last five
know.
minutes.
I think I might have scared her though because she said something about ghosts being attached to objects. I was like, "Oh yeah, they can be." And she was like, "Oh no, don't tell me that."
Oh no.
It's like, "Oop."
Oh, oop. That's funny.
But yeah, that's my little ghost update. I've never really had any
Yeah, no, this is
experiences myself,
exciting.
but
Maybe
maybe
one
I
day.
will.
Maybe we can go to Ryan's apartment.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah.
anyway, that's crazy. Let me see. Rate and review us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, please. But other than that, that's all the intro topics I have if we want to get into our stories today.
Yeah, that's all I had too. So we're gonna get into some Philadelphia stories.
Philly, shout out.
I was actually listening to the Always Sunny podcast, and it got me thinking about Philly and
Mm-hmm.
like feeling a little bit homesick for the area.
Yeah.
So I got some cool stories.
Yay.
These are gonna be legends from Old City, Philadelphia, so like the historic part,
Okay.
which is obviously like the most haunted because it's old, you know.
Yeah. The oldest always equals the haunted.
And it's like
I was going to say
before.
hauntedest, but that's not it.
I mean, we can. That's a word, right?
Sure. Now it
Hauntedest.
is.
But it's like the before the start of America. Like it's kind of hard to even imagine.
Oh. Yeah, no, my brain can't. That's before my brain, like, works, you know?
Yeah, because Philadelphia was there for so long. Like America was founded what 1776,
6.
and
Mm-hmm.
then some of these are from early 1700s. So
Wow. That's so
pretty
wild.
crazy. Okay, so the first one I want to talk about is the ghost of Ben Franklin.
No? Okay. What? I've heard that his ghost is in Philly.
Yes, because okay, Ben Franklin, like in Philly, he's everywhere. There's statues all over the place, tons of like reenactors,
Mm-hmm.
and we even have like a whole museum named after him, the
Wow.
Franklin Institute, that I used to love going to. But Philly loves Ben Franklin for one.
Mm-hmm. You know where I learned that fact, actually? The movie National Treasure. Have
Oh
you seen
yes,
that movie?
yes.
Oh my God, guys, we've got a winner. Savannah seen one movie I've asked. National Treasure.
See, but that's not like a scary movie.
You're
So.
right. You're right.
Yeah. But yeah, he's everywhere, just like in that movie. It's accurate.
It's accurate. Good. I always wondered if it was.
But there's a statue of him at Liberty, or not Liberty, Library Hall, which it apparently it was a library for the Library Company of Philadelphia, which is like What kind of name is that?
What is the library company?
I don't know. It's like that's what it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's not a thing anymore. But now it's the library for the American Philosophical Society,
Ooh.
which was founded by Ben Franklin. So that's kind of cool. They have a statue of him out front. And this statue in particular, because I said there's like many, is said to step down from its pedestal and walk around the city.
Excuse me. Okay, so we're positive that's not like one of those people who do that.
See, that's like kind of what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. Because there's like a lot of reenactors too. But I mean, I guess you would know that it's him, the statue, if you don't see the statue up there, you know?
That's true. Yeah, that's true. That's crazy. If that's true, I would love to see that with my own eyeballs.
Right. Like, that would be cool. But he steps down, and people say that he walks around, dances, and he'll even go into bars sometimes.
Me.
I know. Reports go all the way back to like when he died. So like
Wow.
right after he died, people saw his statue walking around and even like walking to his house, just like he would
What?
normally do.
That's so cool.
Right. And then he was also seen in the Philosophical Society library in the 1880s.
Wow.
And he knocked over a cleaning lady when he was like rushing to go look at books.
Wow. So this man's just living his regular life in the afterlife.
Yeah, basically.
That's fun.
So I did read this whole article of somebody who was trying to find him. They said they visited Philadelphia to see Ben Franklin dance because that's the big thing. They say like, oh, he gets down and dances.
Mm-hmm.
And they went over 4th of July because that seemed like the best time to go.
Of course.
Because it's like, when else is he gonna step down?
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
And this person, they like kept asking people in the city like, oh, do you know this legend? But literally nobody knew what he was talking about, which was interesting. See, that's like the hard part of like looking up these legends in Philly. Like, there's like no, like not a lot of people either believe in ghosts or like see these ghosts, so it's like hard. But there's also ghost tours all over Philly, so it's just contradictory. But anyway, this person said they did go on a ghost tour, and the tour guide told them the statue will dance on Easter Sunday.
Oh, okay.
But like that doesn't really make sense because Ben Franklin wasn't really that religious, so like why would he choose Easter
Right.
Sunday?
That's weird. Sus.
And this person also visited the grave of Ben, and the crypt keeper of the cemetery, he said that he doesn't personally believe in ghosts, of course, but and he never heard of this story of him dancing, but he did say that he believed in energy. And that there was a good energy, a pure and positive energy in the cemetery.
Well, that's good
Yeah.
news, at least.
Yeah, it is. And he also said that Ben Franklin haunts the city of Philadelphia in like different ways. Like his inventions and his history are all over the city.
I mean, that's definitely true.
Yeah.
And
So he
I mean, all
definitely-
over the world now.
Yeah. Because like he made the city and it's still like he's still all over it. So that's pretty cool. And then there's another thing about his grave. Lots of people visit Ben Franklin's grave, and apparently you have to pay like $2 to go and see it.
What?
Yeah, but people will give him a penny, like on his grave.
Oh,
So I guess $2 and a penny.
that's funny. That's actually when I went to the Bonaventure Cemetery.
Yeah.
People had put pennies on what's her name's little Gracie's grave.
Oh.
So I don't know if like that's like a thing.
Well, okay. I have a reason for why they
Okay.
leave pennies. It's because he would say a penny saved is a penny earned.
Okay, interesting. Maybe people just like to give them money because money.
Yeah, there's that too. And apparently people will leave the gravesite with less money in their wallet because Ben Franklin, like the ghost of Ben Franklin, takes more money.
Okay, me as a ghost.
Because he's like, why just a penny? Like, come on.
He's like, come on. You know how much taxes are around here?
Right, exactly. It's like inflation. Like, it's not worth the same anymore. So yeah, that's my little story on Ben Franklin, and I have some other ones, but
I love
I
Little
don't
Ben
know.
Franklin. That's fun.
Right, like I want to go and see if I can find him.
I would
walking
love
around.
to see his statue move. Like, truly, I really would.
Mm-hmm.
I would be scared, but I would love to see it.
No, you have to like make sure they know you won't be scared because they probably wouldn't move, right?
Well, that's a good point.
You gotta like send them the positive energy and be like, listen,
True.
you gotta move for me just so I
Please
can
move
prove
for
to
me.
myself.
I'll just
that
sit there
this
and be
is
like,
real.
listen, just please move. Honestly, I do that with my cats. I'm like, just talk to me. I know you can. You know, I would just sit there and beg the statue to move.
Yeah, exactly. It's the same thing. Okay, well, the next little story I have is about the oldest alley in the United States.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Which is pretty cool. This is called Elfrith's Alley. It's kind of a mouthful.
Yeah.
But Elfrith's Alley, it was named after it's somebody's last name. And it's the oldest continuously occupied residential street in the entire United States.
Wow.
So it's kind of cool. It's in Philly and it dates back to 1703.
Whoa. That's seriously crazy.
I know, like it seriously was before the United States was the United States, and it's
Literally
still
before
a street.
America. Wow.
So it dates back to then, and it has 32 houses, but they're all like really tiny. I'll get into how small. They were built between 1703 and 1836, and most of them, they're all like Trinity houses, which I didn't really know what that meant.
No, me neither.
But it's like a small house that has 3 floors, and each floor has basically one room. And
Oh.
they're all like row homes, so like right next to each other.
Yeah.
And these types of homes are mainly like just in Philly.
Interesting.
Yeah. Like if you can picture like 3 rooms stacked on top of each other.
Yeah, no, I
basically what it
can.
is. Yeah. So yeah, that's what this street is, like a bunch of those little houses. And over 3,000 people have lived in these houses over all of those years, which is a lot.
Yeah.
So you can imagine how many people have passed through with all the ghosts and stuff.
So many.
So people still live in some of these houses, and there's also a museum.
Oh.
A few of the houses were converted into the museum, and
That's
they're
cool.
set up like it would have been hundreds of years ago.
That's so cool. I want to go.
Right. Like, honestly, going into those old houses that are set up like they used to be, I always wish I could live in one of them. And, like, this you
Right.
kind of can because,
Because you can, yeah.
yeah. And they also have, like, events on this street because, okay, also, if you can imagine, it's, like, it's not big enough for a car to drive down. It was
Okay.
for, like, carts.
Like
Like back
golf
in the day.
carts? Oh. Yeah.
No, like horse-drawn carts, I
Got
guess.
it. But like modern day golf carts.
Possibly. I think that could ride down it. But it's like cobblestone.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but they have like cool events there, and
That's
like
so
there's like a
cool.
whole organization. But of course there's also ghosts.
Oh,
So
yes. Of course.
so there is a main ghost who is a soldier who died during the Revolutionary War.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, he was found to be a spy.
Oh, not a spy.
Yeah, British spy, and he was hanged in the alley.
Pip, pip, cheerio. That's bad.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't realize you were going to say that immediately after I started saying that. So.
Yeah. So people say that they see and hear him haunting the alley. There's no like definite proof that this hanging happened, but
Yeah.
like probably.
I mean, I'm sure it did.
Yeah.
That's sad.
So there's also some other ghostly things that'll happen. And this one's just creepy. People will be walking through the alley and suddenly feel like they're being choked or
Ew.
suffocated.
Ew, no.
Yeah. See, like,
Alleys freak me out in general.
I mean, when you see pictures of this one, it's really nice. And they have, like, all these, just because, like, they have a historical society and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, these events. But then you walk through there to, like, go to this fun event and you feel like you're being choked. Like,
No,
geez.
absolutely not. Like, I feel like alleys are so dark and creepy anyway. Imagine just walking down a dark and creepy alley and then you're getting choked. Like, that's
I
my
think they have
worst
lights
nightmare.
in this one.
Well, true. But still, that's what I'm picturing.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just a no from me. But there's also reports of strange lights and voices, of course. And people catch images of ghosts on their cameras as orbs.
We
You
love
know
a
how
good
we
orb.
love, I was gonna say, we love orbs, don't we?
Yeah.
I mean, but also not really, because orbs are like
Orbs are debatable.
iffy. Yeah. So yeah, that is the alleyway. Which I don't know. I feel like I would want to go and just check it out. I've never heard of it before.
I would definitely go.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and I have one more story that's kind of a longer one. So this is the third part of my little series of old Philadelphia, and this is Washington Square.
Ooh, I've heard of that.
Yes, so it's a park. It's like a park in the middle of the city, or in the middle of, I guess, the historic area. And unfortunately, we might have to throw it back to Cheeseman Park.
No. No.
Yes.
Wait, okay, did you know that this information previous to doing this work?
No.
Ew, okay. So I'm assuming you've been there before.
Yeah, I think I've been there.
Okay. I was just curious. Anyway.
Yeah.
For those who haven't listened to the Cheeseman Park episode.
Yeah, I didn't look up what number that was.
Mm-hmm,
but
I can look it up real quick.
Okay. Yeah, Cheeseman Park. I mean, if I don't want to spoil it for anybody who hasn't listened to that one, go listen to that one too.
Too bad.
But
it's getting spoiled.
Yeah. So yes.
By the way, if you want to listen to it just before the spoil, it's episode 43.
Okay.
So
43.
If you don't want it spoiled, go listen to it right now. But if you've already heard it, go ahead.
Yeah. This is very similar. Because this park was a burial ground as well.
Dun dun dun.
Yes. It was actually a potter's field.
What is that?
It's a designated burial ground for paupers, foreigners, and those who weren't considered worthy of a Christian burial.
Oh my God. That's really bad. That's like really, really bad.
Yeah. They were buried with no casket and no headstone and just wrapped in a canvas.
Oh my God. So you really didn't know about that before going to oh man.
No, and Taylor, it gets even worse. Like, honestly, I was only going to do the first two stories and, like, do even more. And then I found this one. I was like, I have to add this in too. Mm-hmm. Because it gets even worse.
Oh no.
But okay, very much paranormal. Yes.
Of course, obviously.
But the most prevalent ghost is not, I don't even know if she's buried here.
Interesting.
The most common ghost is Leah, and she, when she was alive, she would actually protect the area from grave robbers and body snatchers.
Okay, Leah.
Yeah.
Go off.
As I said in, like, the previous episode, people would steal bodies from graves. That's body snatchers or resurrectionists. And in this graveyard. What did I call it? Potter's Field.
Yeah.
In this Potter's Field, most people were buried. Like, most of the people who were buried were poor, but some weren't. And were actually buried with things of value.
Interesting.
Like, for example, one, like, one story I saw said like a member of one of the families in the area, it said the Carpenters.
Mm-hmm.
Don't really know who that is. But one family member died by suicide, so they could not have a Christian burial.
Okay.
So they had to be buried there, so their family decided to be buried alongside with them.
Okay.
At Washington Square. So that's an example of like a family that would have items that people would actually want to steal. So it's
that
like
makes sense.
Yeah. And people would target graves like these for the valuable items.
Mm-hmm.
And then the bodies, people would go and take them because, I mean, most of the graves were like people nobody really cared about, sadly.
Yeah. That's so sad.
Yeah. So Leah would walk around at night with a lantern to scare people off.
Good.
Yes.
Go, Leah.
And people say that she still walks Washington Square at night with her little lantern.
Oh, okay. I love Leah, but that's so creepy.
I know. It is. Some have seen like a bright light when walking through at night. So yeah, she's just still there protecting everyone who is buried there.
Oh, that's sweet.
But she is not the only ghost.
Oh.
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun.
Okay, I guess, see, now looking back, I'm like, I don't think I saw the date of like when they first started burying people there.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm assuming this was before the Revolutionary War.
Okay.
Because there's also some Revolutionary War ghosts here.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. We're just gonna get into it. So, oh geez, my first point here, we're getting right into it. Many soldiers were buried here in like mass graves.
Oh, good. Good,
Yeah.
good.
And these were mostly prisoners of war that had sadly passed away while being held by the British.
That is so sad.
Yeah. And they were kept in like horrible conditions, and it didn't take long for them to die, like once they were imprisoned by the British.
No.
Freaking British.
Right.
And then this actually caused a surge of paranormal activity in the 1800s.
Whoa. As it should. Yeah.
Right.
The British. I hope they were haunted. Bad.
Right.
For killing them.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like possibly one or two British soldiers ended up on the list there.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing most of it was Americans.
Yeah.
So yeah. Some visitors to the park have heard like disembodied whispers and screams.
Ew.
And there have also been full-bodied apparitions of soldiers seen.
Yikes. Now I want to go to this park at night.
Right. Like, see, all these like things that we talk about, and like, I just want to go see for myself.
Okay, but we're going to these because we can easily go to Philly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I know, like, I want to go back.
Yeah.
And also though, there's a memorial in the park. See, this sort of makes me think that we won't see any of the ghosts, because there was like a memorial put up for the Revolutionary soldiers in the 1950s.
Mm-hmm.
And when it was finished, some of the voices actually went quiet.
Oh.
Like they were at peace.
Oh, okay, well that's good though. They deserve to be at peace.
Yeah. I know, it's good, but I do want to hear the ghosts still. So.
I know, but like, where are the ghosts at?
Yeah. Okay, so you thought I was done there. No, there's still another group of people that I want to touch on. So, yeah, another group of people that was buried at Washington Square were the victims of yellow fever.
No.
In 1793.
Wow.
Yeah.
They were just burying a lot of people.
Yeah. I know, I didn't even really look up like when they stopped. Probably after this.
They're still burying them there today. No,
No.
just kidding.
No. But side note about the yellow fever, there's like a book called Fever 1793 that I read in elementary school, and it was such a good book.
I never had to read that one.
It was about yellow fever epidemic like in Philadelphia.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Yeah. Cuz it like apparently it hit Philadelphia before the other big cities.
Hmm.
So yeah. But anyways, I recommend that book, but also I think it's for elementary school. So,
Okay.
whatever.
Heard.
But yeah, the yellow fever, see, now I have some statistics here. In 3 months, it killed about 5,000 residents of Philadelphia.
What? Okay, that's
Which,
scary.
do you know how much of the population that was?
Like most of them? I don't know. Like a
It
third?
was it was 10%.
Okay, that's a lot though.
Yeah. And it was actually so bad that like the wealthy people fled the city. They're
Wow.
like, we're leaving. And the poor people had to deal with everything. And basically 1/3 of the city left.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
so scary.
Right. And then can you just imagine like being some of those poor people having to like deal with all this
No,
and
absolutely
trying not
not.
to get sick?
That's so scary. It's like COVID, but worse.
Right. And also, okay, this is another side note. What is the difference between a pandemic and an endemic?
You mean the epidemic?
Yes, it is.
So a pandemic is like globally worldwide. An epidemic is like in a like a place.
Oh,
Like
right,
like
right.
a one area. Like I'm pretty sure the Ebola, it was an epidemic because it was like
Okay.
only in like one place.
All right. I feel like I did kind of know that. I'm just,
Yeah,
you
it's
know,
okay. I
being a
feel
little
you.
stupid right now. Okay, anyways, that was just for the listeners.
Yeah,
Just so they know.
exactly.
So this was an epidemic, but because so many people were dying, they had to do the mass burial again in Washington Square.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and it is said that if you walk through Washington Square and like you start to feel sick, it's because of the people who died of yellow fever.
Oh my god. That's so scary.
Yeah. Yeah. So, there's that.
Yeah, there's just that little fact.
Yeah. I see the last time I was in Philly, I went there, I'm pretty sure.
What?
I'm trying to think like was it a different park? I'm pretty sure it was Washington Square.
That's so
And we were
crazy.
just sitting on a picnic blanket.
When in reality you were sitting on thousands of bodies.
Right.
That's
Like,
crazy.
what?
Like people don't know that.
Yeah,
Like you didn't know that.
I
Wild.
know.
So scary.
I think there's like that memorial there. It probably says it on there. And I think there's like a crypt or something for somebody.
Oh, okay.
So,
Maybe people know.
yeah.
I surely didn't know.
Yeah. I mean, maybe I'm like mixing up my parks, but I don't know. Like to the ones that I've been to. I'm
Yeah.
like, have I been to this one? I'm not really
Yeah.
too sure because I haven't been there in a while. But yeah, so that's there's some stories and some history for you.
Stories. No, yeah, the Philly stories, they were great. They were
Yeah.
spooks my gooks for sure.
No, I know.
What
There's a lot of crazy history that's gone on there, and like
Dude, Philly's
it's just-
wild. I've never even been, and I know Philly's wild.
It
There are
is.
just so many stories. I've heard.
It's like its own little world, honestly.
No, truly. Truly. I can't wait to go. So moving on, I guess is the only way to do this. So today for you, I have The Legend of Crybaby Bridge.
What?
Dun dun dun.
Crybaby Bridge.
So, Crybaby Bridge, although it does sound like one specific bridge, is actually it's a nickname given to many different bridges all around the United States.
Oh, what?
Yeah, so basically in all these different states there's different crybaby bridges.
Why is it called that?
Well, apparently at these bridges that are known as the Crybaby Bridges, legends say that like people can hear the sound of a baby crying from the bridge. Most likely like the ghost of a baby who was killed. So we'll get into more of that later. But yeah, basically there's tons of crybaby bridges. So
That's insane.
yeah. So most of the stories and legends, like with all of these bridges, are where like the mother like threw the baby off the bridge and like felt so much guilt that she also jumped and killed herself as well. And so most of the time, like the stories are pretty much the same. Like people can hear a baby cry, and sometimes they can see like the ghost of the mom, or like she can be heard like crying, looking for her baby. So, yeah. Anyway, there are very specific stories, so let's get into it. So, I'm only going to cover a couple of the states because, as I said, I'm pretty sure there's crybaby bridges in like every state. But the states I'm going to cover today are Kentucky, Ohio, Maryland, and Texas. So,
I've been to
how
some of
about?
those.
Yep, I bet me too. So, we're going to start with Kentucky. The Kentucky Crybaby Bridge is found on Sleepy Hollow Road, so that's also super spooky magooky.
Yeah, that really is.
Yeah,
I love that. Love that adjective.
spooky magooky. Yeah, so this is definitely really sad. So just a quick trigger warning to the whole story, honestly. But this specific bridge on Sleepy Hollow Road in Kentucky is known as Crybaby Bridge because mothers would apparently go here all the time and drop their unwanted, sick, or even deformed babies to drown in the water
Oh my
below.
god.
Yeah, so legend says you can still hear babies crying if you go there at night. And what's interesting is actually in like 2015, the original wooden bridge was replaced with a newer one that's made of steel and concrete, and you can still hear the babies crying, like if you go there at night. So,
Okay, so is it the bridge that's haunted or the water below?
like the water below, I'm pretty sure. Or just like maybe it's just like the general area.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But like the legend says like you have to be like standing on the bridge to hear like the babies cry. So, I
Oh
don't
my
know.
god.
So that's Kentucky. Moving on to Ohio. There are actually a few crybaby bridges in Ohio. And so one is also known as Rogues Hollow because that's the road that it's found on. Um, and apparently this bridge slash road is only open from May to October because of how dangerous it is. Like in the winter, like the road is just super like steep. So many deaths have occurred on this bridge basically just due to like weather and the steep incline if there's like snow because it's in Ohio. So that's why it's only open during the warm months of the year. So it's said to be haunted by many, many people. And the most common thing that people say they hear are babies crying. And this bridge, like, doesn't really have any stories behind why. So I'm like assuming maybe babies died in like the car accidents,
Aw.
which is just
Yeah.
still so sad.
I mean, that does happen. So.
Yeah, it does. So, yes. Moving along, another crybaby bridge in Ohio is the Screaming, and it is accompanied by not only screaming babies, but the Screaming Bride of Maud Hughes. So,
Okay. She's screaming.
she screams, yeah. The and I don't even know why it's called that actually. I'm assuming somebody named Maud Hughes like was screaming on it at one point, which is not good because this is like the most popular place in the whole state of Ohio for people to commit suicide off of. Just in the last couple years, at least 36 people have been reported to have died by jumping off the bridge. Like that's a lot.
Yeah, that is a lot. Wait, you said it's the highest in the state, or
In the state, yeah.
that's oh my gosh.
Yeah, and so not only do people report hearing babies crying for this one, which even though there are no reports of babies like being thrown off really. I mean, that also just because it's not reported doesn't mean it didn't happen. But people also report to see ghostly figures, like strange mist and lights like all on the bridge when like nothing is there. So like that's super spooky.
And orbs.
Well, not orbs. Maybe orbs, but not according to my research.
Yeah.
So the legend says that if you go to this screaming bride of Maud, whatever I called it, Maud Hughes bridge, apparently, throwing it back, one day, a man and a woman No. No. Yes. Sorry, I lost my spot. Okay. The legend says that a car was driving, like a little taxi driver, and he was carrying a man and a woman in the back seat, and the car stalled on the top of the bridge, so the man like got out to help the driver, try to fix the car, and the woman waited inside of the car. So the man, like the husband or whatever, gets back in the car, and the woman wasn't in the car anymore, but he didn't ever see her get out. So he was like, where'd you go? So he like got out and started looking for her, and tragically he found her hanging off the side of the bridge.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's really sad. Really
How can you just like, that seems so random though, because like you would have to
have rope.
Like you would think there would be more planning to that.
I know. And also
and
that's
just
what like a little
car.
bit sus too. Like, is that really what happened, husband? I don't know. I just don't know.
Like, how can like just like something random goes wrong with the car and then you decide, oh, I'm just gonna do this.
Right. Yeah. See, that seems a little bit sus if you ask me personally.
We're turning into true crime.
Yeah.
Right we're like, actually, we're detectives.
I mean, we are though. So that finishes that one. So we're still in Ohio. The third Crybaby Bridge in Ohio is found on Egypt Road, which is in Salem, Ohio. And legend says that one day a kid actually fell and accidentally drowned, which is why it got dubbed Crybaby Bridge. But there are also actually rumors of a cult of some sort running like in the woods, like surrounding the bridge, and that actually that child's death might have not been an accident. So like I didn't go deep diving into this, but like it's unsolved. Like they said it was an accident, but some people believe that it was this cult that like lives in the woods around it. Like he could have been like a sacrifice.
Oh my god.
And the reason that like that kind of sounds like a little out of left field, but in 2000, but no, because in 2010 there was a murder of an elderly woman who was found strangled to death and burned, and she was found to be thrown off the bridge like at the same spot. And they were like, okay, well that also seems sus, and that case is still open. So like, is it the cult? Okay. Like people really do keep dying there. Like I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, and that one is suspect because it's like someone did something to her before throwing her off.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like they're gonna pick that specific bridge. It's weird. It's super weird. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, moving on to Maryland, there are also 3 Crybaby Bridges in Maryland. Now, what's interesting about these 3 that are in Maryland, is that in all of the legends, there is mention of these 3 bridges being like located right near satanic churches. Okay, so that's a little bit weird, but you know what else all 3 bridges have? Reports of sighting of none other than Goatman!
Oh my god.
Goatman.
They're all the Goatman's bridge?
Yeah, apparently. So, if you haven't listened to our Goatman episode, you're gonna want to go back. That is episode 41. I did
so you
find
already
that
had
one.
That ready.
Yes, I had that one ready. Because we love Goatman. Well, we don't, but we do.
Yeah, exactly. Mixed feelings.
Yes. So Goatman has been seen at all of these bridges, and so that's crazy. And now I'm like, are people just getting all happy with the legends? Maybe.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm thinking.
Or maybe there's a bunch of Goatmen. I don't know.
True. I mean, it could be multiple.
It could be.
They're just like running around, or he just like likes going to different places.
Exactly.
He's traveling.
He just likes different bridges, you know? He doesn't want just one. But so to go a little bit more on the darker side of history, a baby is actually known to have died by being thrown in the river back in the 1950s, like right off the bridge. And the story goes that like this young mom threw her illegitimate child over the bridge and then took her life in the same way. And this is at one of the it's a Maryland bridge, specifically in Prince George's County.
Oh.
if anybody knows where that is, not me. But, so that's at least how the legend goes. You know, that this illegitimate baby was killed and her mom also killed herself.
Yeah.
But historians think that it's a little bit darker than that, that also happened, but that apparently this specific bridge in Prince George's County was potentially used by the KKK in their ritual killings of African American children.
Oh my God.
And that it's actually these children who are haunting these bridges.
That's just so awful.
And so then that led me down a loophole of just like thinking like of all like lynchings in the past and like during all of these times, like bridges would be a place to do that, you know, like easier than a tree. And I'm like, is it really haunted? Like that's just, it's so dark, so dark. And I hope that's not the case. But specifically, that bridge, it has just so much ghost activity. Like, so, you just have to know so many bad things have happened there in the past.
Yeah.
And also, like, it's not one, like, that, like, a bunch of car accidents happens at. Just random things happen. So, that is that, I suppose. And, lastly, we will go to Texas, where there are also 3 well-known crybaby bridges. And at all 3, actually, there are car accidents at literally all 3, and they're none located near each other. So this is weird. I feel like that like all of the crybaby bridges in each state kind of have the same story. But anyway, the ones in Texas, there were all car accidents where the babies and mothers both died by drowning in the waters below the bridge.
Oh, jeez. They didn't survive?
No.
Oh my God.
So, also there, children can be heard crying and moms can be heard, you know, searching for their children. So, looking at all of this information, like, what the heck is going on with all of these babies being thrown off bridges? Like,
right. Like, why is seemingly like every bridge a crybaby bridge?
right. And so, as I mentioned, there could be some racial issues that, like, you know, at play.
Yeah.
As this for sure, like lynchings and stuff. And, you know, those barely were ever reported. So, like, we really don't even know where. But also, you know, back in these times, none of these, they really had dates that I could really tell. Because, I mean, you know, they're just legends. And the bridges are still there today. But women having children out of wedlock, like, this is only an idea that people are very recently, like, starting to become okay with. Like, as of, like, even, like, this year. Like, having kids without being married has been so stigmatized, like, over time. And, like, back in the, like, people were killed over it. So, thinking about, like, the time, like, imagine if you were a single mom who had just had a baby, like, knowing that you couldn't go back to town because you didn't have a husband. Like, they kind of almost didn't have a choice. So, you know.
Yeah, it's just so sad that they felt like they had to do stuff like that.
I know. It's so sad.
But it's also Women's History Month.
I know.
So you know, I'm
power
glad
to the
we've made
people.
it this far.
We have made it this far. There's no excuse to throw any babies over bridges today, so let's not do that anymore.
Yeah.
You can just simply drop them off at a firehouse if you don't want it. So.
Yeah, exactly. Honestly, why did they not do that?
I don't know. I don't know if that was a thing. I feel like it wasn't a thing back then.
No, I think it was.
Maybe.
I feel like that's been like a known thing. Like, I don't know. I feel like in media and like shows I've seen that before.
I mean, true. Maybe.
But
I don't know.
Also, why the fire station?
I don't know.
I'm like,
like a
thinking
safe
about
place. I don't know.
Yeah,
but like not the police station, you know, like it's a safe enough place, but also not the police.
Yeah, that's true. Because like sometimes the police can be low key scary.
Yeah, or like
so then
like you don't also like want to get caught either. Like giving
like
up a
abandoning
baby.
your child.
Yeah, like it's not good. Yeah. So, anyway, to end on a less serious note, though, do you think that maybe, possibly, potentially, all of these crybaby bridges could be connected somehow? Like through the devil?
Maybe.
I know. Like, I just, like, think, like, about the goat man. And I'm like, what if? So I've been playing a lot of Mario on my Switch. And
Okay.
like, what if like these crybaby bridges act as like the little green tubes in Mario?
Like a portal?
Yeah. That's
Oh,
really just like out of nowhere, left field, but I'm just
and they
thinking.
and they all connect.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, all the same things are happening on all these bridges. That's weird.
Wait, you know what else it connects back to?
What?
Water creatures.
Okay, and how so?
Because how the fact that like all these water creatures are evil and like water is below bridges.
Mm-hmm.
So
Maybe
back
they
to
could be
our
nabbing them. Yeah,
fact that water is evil in all these legends.
I got it. I heard. Yeah,
See.
that's also true. So I mean, I don't know. But the fact that even that they're connected to Goatman, that basically just means that they're connected to Satan, in my opinion.
Yeah, see,
So I don't
there's
know.
that too.
Portals to hell? Who knows?
But also, okay, you know the Satanist church,
Mm-hmm.
people think it's really bad, but it's also like kind of not bad.
Yeah.
Maybe people are doing this stuff or like spreading these rumors just to have bad press for the Satanists.
I mean, I think I can so easily see that being like a Christian agenda, you know?
Right. They're like, oh my god, the Satanists threw babies off of this bridge and that's haunted. But like
I
they
mean,
didn't
no.
really.
I mean, they 100% that's true.
Yeah.
Like people have definitely made up stories just because of that. 100%. But I would be honestly 100% down to visit any of these crybaby bridges, honestly. Like any of
Yeah.
them.
I feel like there's probably one near us too.
Oh, I'm sure there is. I didn't look it up because I just like looked up the most popular stories, but
Yeah.
there has to. I mean, there's crybaby bridges literally everywhere. But here's what is interesting is that I have only been able to find them in the United States. So I'm like, where's that connection lead to? I don't know.
Maybe they call it something different in other countries.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe. Also, like the name makes it sound funny and not as serious as it is.
Yeah,
Literal
no, definitely.
baby ghost
Yeah.
babies crying is really sad. So,
Yeah. I know.
anyways, yeah.
Just thinking about ghost babies. Oh, that's so
I
sad.
know, like they're stuck here because they're not at peace. Like that's actually like the saddest thing ever.
I just thought about what if there's ghost babies at like hospitals.
There probably are. Oh my God. So sad. Okay, no. Anyway, that's the legend of baby bridges.
Never mind.
Just moving
not
on
sad.
because that's really sad.
Yeah. Never mind.
Yeah. So crybaby bridges. Say that 5 times
Okay.
fast.
No thanks.
Yeah, I couldn't do it either.
Okay.
Definitely go check out our Instagram to see some pictures of some crybaby bridges and to see some pictures of Philly.
Yes.
In this park. What's it called again?
Oh, I know. Washington Square.
Washington Square. That actually blew my mind. I really did not know there were bodies under it. And now I'm starting to believe that like every major park, like, do we need to check out what's the one in New York called? That big one. Can't remember.
I don't remember.
Yeah, me neither.
Central
I've
Park?
never Central Park. Yeah, there we go.
Honestly,
Are there bodies there?
maybe I should look that up.
I think we have to look it up because it's turning out a bunch of major parks are actually burial grounds, and I feel like that's something that people need to know.
Right.
Like honestly. So yeah. Please go rate and review us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And if you're listening on Spotify, answer our little questions that we put in there because they're fun. And we like reading the responses.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, happy St. Patty's Day. Go get some beer tomorrow. I won't be getting beer because I don't like beer, but I will be drinking something else probably. So
Yeah. I mean, that counts too.
Yeah.
As long as you gotta make sure it's green.
of course, well, okay. I'll try. Okay, well, that's all I have this week for you.
Alright, me too. Cue the music.